They say kindness doesn't cost a thing, but for Wesley Cain, it damn near cost him everything. It started with a bike. A busted-up, crooked-wheeled, rust-covered old cruiser that looked like it hadn't been touched since the 60s. And an old woman, barely 5 feet tall, hair like cotton and skin like parchment, pushing it across the sweltering concrete like she was dragging a dead horse behind her. This was down in Dalton, Mississippi, one of those towns where the air hangs thick, and the silence in the afternoon buzzes louder than any conversation. Most folks don't make eye contact. They nod. Keep moving. But not Wesley. 34, soft-spoken. Always smelled like motor oil and citrus air freshener. Worked at Graham's Auto and Tire since he was 29. Folks said he could rebuild a transmission blindfolded and never miss a bolt. And on that sticky Thursday at 5:42 p.m., while everyone else had already clocked out, Wesley saw her and didn't hesitate. "Ma'am, you okay?" he asked, wiping his hands on an old red shop rag. She looked up like she was surprised anyone even noticed her. Voice like lace. "Just needed some eggs from the store, then the chain popped. I can't fix it, and I don't have money to pay nobody." Wesley just smiled, didn't ask you for money. He wheeled the bike into the bay, sat her down in the shade with a cold bottle of water, and got to work. The shop was already darkening. His co-workers gone. The boss, old Terry Graham, red-nosed, always rushing somewhere. But never really going anywhere, had already peeled out an hour ago, which, in hindsight, was probably for the best. That bike was a mess. Tires dry as dust, brakes shot, chain dangling like broken jewelry. But Wesley didn't complain, didn't mutter, just fixed it, cleaned the gears, replaced what he could from scrap parts, even added a little silver bell on the handlebars just because. When he rolled it back out, that woman's face lit up like Christmas morning. "You didn't have to do all that," she whispered, fingers brushing the chrome. "I know," he said, "but I wanted to." She touched his arm soft, warm, and asked, "What's your name?" "Wesley Cain, ma'am." "Well, Wesley Cain, you just changed my whole week." She rode off slow, careful, the little bell dinging with every rotation like a thank you note left in the air. He never got her name, didn't ask. And the next morning, they fired him. Yeah, that happened. Terry was waiting when Wesley walked in. Coffee already cold, arms crossed. "You got a minute," he said, jaw tight. In the back room, no preamble, no small talk. "I heard you stayed late yesterday," Terry snapped. "Heard you used company parts to fix some old woman's bicycle." Wesley nodded. Shop was closed. Used scrap. She was struggling, man, barely walking. "This ain't a damn charity," Terry exploded. "You think we run a soup kitchen here?" And just like that, no warnings. No second chances, he was out. Fired. 4 years. Gone. All for doing something his mama would have been proud of. Now, here's where it should have ended right. Man does good, gets punished, world keeps turning. But that ain't how this one went. Because while Wesley sat on his porch that evening, sipping warm lemonade and wondering how the hell he'd explain this to his landlord, his phone buzzed. Unknown number, a video link. He tapped it. There she was, the old woman from the shop, standing outside the local Piggly Wiggly with her bike, voice trembling as she spoke into a camera. "This young man. I didn't catch his name, but he saw me struggling. Fixed my bike. Didn't charge me. Didn't even ask who I was, just helped." 2 hours later, the video had over 80,000 views. By midnight, 1.2 million. His name trending. What mechanic with a heart. People were calling him a hero. Strangers offered him jobs. Churches sent donations. Reporters called. Even the mayor's office left a message. But that ain't the twist. The twist is who she was. See, Wesley's neighbor, Miss Clarabelle, saw the video and nearly dropped her Bible. "That's Miss Dorothy Callahan's mama," she whispered like it was national security. "You don't know who that is?" Wesley shook his head. "Lord, baby. Dorothy Callahan. Owns half the real estate in this county. Private clinics, trucking companies, schools her name's on half the zoning signs." Wesley blinked, slow. "You're saying I fixed the bike of the grandmother of the woman who buys Mayer's baby?" And then came the SUVs. Next morning, Victor Redmond, excuse me, Terry, Graham opened his front door and found 7 black SUVs parked nose to nose across his driveway. Silent, gleaming, matching plates, no sirens, no uniforms, just presence. From each SUV stepped one figure, sharp suits, calm faces, earpieces. One woman walked up, mid-30s, cool eyes, folder in hand. She didn't introduce herself, just held out the envelope. Terry took it, blinking. "What is this?" he asked. "An offer," she said, flat. He opened it, read it, pale. "You have 24 hours, she said, turning. "After that, this becomes a consequence." The SUVs backed out as one, like a ballet of silence. And Terry well. He was seen the next day cleaning out his office and telling folks he was taking a personal sabbatical. Yeah, okay. But Wesley, he was just getting started. That same evening, a silver town car pulled up outside his duplex. Another envelope. This one thicker. A note inside, handwritten. Wesley, I don't believe in handouts, but I do believe in investing in people who understand kindness. If you're interested in changing more lives, call this number. Ask for Colleen, DC. He waited a whole day. Then he called and walked straight into a new chapter. Not a job, a calling. A week later, inside a renovated vocational building that used to be a rundown electronics store, they unveiled something new, something real. The Cain Center for Trade and Mentorship. New tools, new lifts, desks, tires, engines. Youth from all over the county walked in with doubt in their eyes and walked out with grease on their hands and pride in their shoulders. Wesley stood at the front, holding up a wrench. "You know what this is?" he asked. "A wrench." "Nope, it's a key. And if you learn how to use it, you'll never need to beg anyone for a second chance." They leaned in. He had them. But the most cinematic moment, a silver-haired woman in a cardigan and pearls stepping out of a car and walking across the parking lot, bike in hand. "Still rides smooth as butter," she smiled. He laughed, choked up a little. And behind her, standing quietly, arms crossed, Dorothy Callahan herself, watching the kids laugh and work and tinker. She didn't say much. Didn't need to. Because sometimes the loudest message is the quietest move. And the good you do when no one's watching. Yeah, it just might be the thing that turns your whole life around. Now tell me, what would you have done? Would you have helped that old woman? Would you risk your job for a stranger? Drop a comment. I want to know what you think about justice, kindness, and second chances. And don't forget to hit subscribe, because tomorrow's story, let's just say, it starts with a grocery cart and ends with a courtroom mic drop.